Imagine a matrimonial like this. Wanted young, professional, dark complexioned or dusky bride for MBA son. Or an ad like this. Darken your skin tone for a prettier look. Because suddenly, skin cream brands seem to be on an image-altering spree. Hindustan Unilever is dropping the word fair from its flagship brand Fair & Lovely. L'Oreal too is removing words like white from its products. Johnson & Johnson is stopping sales of clean and clear fairness products. While Band-Aid will start selling bandages of different skin colors to match real skin. And finally, Shaadi.com has banished the skin tone filter from its matrimonial website. Looks like US's Black Lives Matter movement has reached Indian shores, forcing the Indian cosmetic industry to react. But the bigger question is, will a name change actually solve the issue? Is India ready to embrace the dark is also lovely? Especially since fair skin is considered elite and ideal in the country and is deep-rooted in our language and popular culture? For example, traditional Ayurveda teaches pregnant women ways to fix their fetus's complexion with the drinking of saffron-laced milk, eating oranges, fennel seeds, coconut pieces, etc. We even worship the holy white cow and not the darker buffalo, even though both give us milk. With deep-rooted color biases, complexions deepen the caste divide among upper and lower classes in our country. And despite ourselves being various shades of brown, and being discriminated against by others for the color of our skin, we call out those a few shades darker than us, perhaps without malice as in this case, but still insulting enough. So obsessed are we with fairness that a cursory YouTube search throws up hundreds of homemade remedies for instant fair skin. Afghan Snow in 1919 was the first time a fairness cream was introduced in India, courtesy of entrepreneur E.S. Patanwala, who named it after consulting with King Zahir of Afghanistan. This white cream reminds me of the snow in my country. In fact, Afghan Snow sponsored the first Miss India contest way back in 1952. Fair & Lovely was launched much later in March 1975 and went on to become the market leader. Thereafter, even Indian companies like Dabur, Patanjali, Calvin Care, Imami began selling skin whitening products. All these brands refueled the color bias with ads that suggested that whiter skin can help you get a job, a promotion, or snag the suitable boy. The Advertising Standards Council of India woke up quite late. Ads that depict dark-skinned people as disadvantaged or associating skin tone with class, ethnicity, or community are prohibited, but were ineffective in stopping Indian women's usage of fairness creams. 7 out of 10 women use Fair & Lovely. This feeling of color inadequacy is not restricted to India. A World Health Organization study found that 65% of Indian women regularly use skin lightening creams. That number was 40% for Chinese women, while in Africa the percentages varied from 25 to 77%. Even the fair-skinned Japanese and Korean women often wear wide brim hats, gloves and arm sheaths to shield themselves from the sun. But the skin whitening industry in India is not limited to just fairness creams. We also buy talcum powder worth 700 crores, $100 million. And despite 84% being aware of its harmful effects, undergo cosmetic treatment like skin bleaching, chemical peels, laser, whitening pills, etc. Men too have given in to their insecurities and begun using fairness products in large numbers. Actress Persis Kambata was probably the first to endorse fairness creams in India. Many of our film stars seem to have no qualms about manipulating people into buying fairness products. From Padmini Kolhapure to Juhi Chawla to present-day divas, they've all been there, sold that. However, Abhay Deol and Kalki Koechlin have not only declined advertisement offers, they have also criticized the norm. Taapsee Pannu, Kangana Ranaut, Anushka Sharma, Ranbir Kapoor are some others who refused as well. So did the now tragically deceased actor.
As a responsible, probably actors or as a responsible citizen, we should not in any ways endorse or prefer one tone of skin over the other.
While South Indian star Sai Pallavi turned down an offer of 2 crore rupees.
This is the Indian color. We can't look at foreigners and think we want that.
It is no surprise therefore that other than Rekha and Deepika Padukone, mainstream Hindi cinema has hardly had any dusky heroines. Actor Nandita Das's Dark is Beautiful campaign, now famously known as India's Got Color, celebrates the country's color diversity.
In a country which is 90% dark, it's telling you that the 10% is actually the mainstream. You know, that's what you ought to be like. And if you're not, then you're not going to be successful.
So among all these cultural biases, United Colors of Benetton is probably the only brand that has for years celebrated all shades of skin. The color of your skin, however, is decided by the quantity of melanin produced by your genes, which gives your skin, hair and eyes their color. More the natural melanin, darker the skin, but fewer the wrinkles and less chances of skin cancer. What skin lightening creams often aim to do is interrupt the production of melanin. Recently, 3 Indian women, Meghan Nagpal, Roshni Patel and Hetal Lakhani, called out Shaadi.com and started a Change.org petition for its extremely discriminatory skin tone feature. According to BBC, when Nagpal first emailed the site, she was told that most Indian parents asked for this filter. But after the petition garnered 15,000 signatures, the matchmaking website was forced to remove it. However, prospective families can continue to judge the complexion based on photographs and caste. It was William Shakespeare who had famously said, "A rose by any other name will smell just as sweet." The makers of Fair and Lovely are well aware of that. They know by changing the name to Glow and Lovely, they will continue doing what they have done all along. Even so, over the last 20 years, they have tried to reposition themselves away from fairness several times. In 2001, Unilever tried to extend their brand to Dark Circle Under Eye Cream. A year later, added an anti-marks feature. 2005, they floated the Fair and Lovely Foundation as a means to empower women. 2013, the packaging was changed from white to pink and a best ever formula with multivitamins, adding a sunscreen variant next, and in 2019, moving away from the dark light face advertising. Now abandoning and avoiding the word fair like a coronavirus while registering several names without the F word. Even and lovely, always lovely, care and lovely, I am lovely. Being industry leaders in India, would they abandon a market estimated to be worth 5 to 6,000 crore or $700 million by 2023? Those who do take the moral high ground will see Glow and Lovely and other brands eat into the discontinued products' market share. Writer and filmmaker Paromita Vora is not impressed.
If the change is in name only, then it is just white lies for brownie points.
However, actor Nandita Das believes that change, however cosmetic, is important.
Imageries play an important role in perpetuating prejudice. This has awakened a conscience in society, which we must retain and act upon.
Inbuilt prejudices are yet to be challenged, and we all need to look into the root cause. Let's hope that the next generation will see things differently, not just in India, but across the world. Bizbo's Limerick. A fairness cream may change its name, but the underlying message remains the same. Not good enough, so try our stuff and make us feel inferior in this white man's game. Subscribe to Bizbo's channel and be sure to click on the bell icon. Be the first to know when Bizbo releases a new video.